This video is brought to you by Juice. Get ready to use professional and easy to use transitions and presets. You can get them individually or you can get it in a bundle. Check out the first link in the description. Hello guys, welcome back to my another After Effects tutorial. In this After Effects tutorial, we are going to create this. Here you can see, I have already imported all the files required for this project. You can download them from below, link in the description. Complete After Effects template is also available on my web store. Check out the link in the description. Now let's create this logo reveal. Create a new composition. I will name it as Rust. Set time duration for this composition to 7 seconds. Perfect. Now let's add the logo to the timeline. Scale your logo if needed. Here I will scale my logo. Perfect. Now let's pre-compose it. Name it as logo. Select Move All Attribute into New Composition. For this logo composition, in Effects and Preset, search for Fill, add it to Logo Composition. Now set Fill Color to White. Now again search for Simple Choker. Add it to Logo Composition. Set Choke Matte to 0.50. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Turbulent Displace. Add it to Logo. For Displace, set Amount to 10. Set Size to 4. Now set Complexity to 4. Perfect. Now let's pre-compose it. Name it as Logo Matte. Perfect. Now let's add the grunge media file to the timeline, place it below the Logo Matte composition. For grunge, change Track Matte to Alpha Matte Logo Matte. Now in Effects and Preset, search for Sharpen, add it to grunge. Now for Sharpen, set Amount to 25. Now select both the layers. Pre-compose them, name it as Texture. Now let's create a new solid. Name it as Noise. For Noise, in Effects and Preset, search for Fractal Noise, add it to the Noise layer. For Fractal Noise, set Fractal Type to Dynamic Progressive. Select Invert. In Transform, set Scale to 60. Now set Complexity to 9. Now let's pre-compose it. Name it as Fractal Noise. Now hide it. For Texture, in Effects and Preset, search for CC Image Wipe. Add it to the texture. For Image Wipe, set Completion to 55%. Set Border Softness to 3. Now in Gradient, set Layer to Fractal Noise. Perfect. Here our Rust part is created. Now let's create a new composition. Name it as Logo Blur. Let's add the logo composition to the timeline. In Effects and Preset, search for Fill. Add it to the logo composition, set Fill Color to White. Now search for Fastbox Blur. Add it to the logo. For Blur, set Blur Radius to 5. Now let's create a new solid, name it as Black. Make sure color is set to black. Now place it below logo composition. Now let's create another composition, name it as Logo Outline. Now add logo matte composition to the timeline. Now let's add fill and set color to white. Now let's add the fastbox blur. For blur, set blur radius to 1. Now add simple choker. For choker, set choke matte to -4. Now again add logo matte composition to the timeline. Add simple choker to the logo matte composition. Now set choke matte to -2. Now add fastbox blur to logo matte composition. Set blur radius to 0.5. For below logo matte, change track matte to alpha inverted logo matte. Here we will place fastbox blur above and simple choker below. Now again create a new composition, name it as logo noise. Now add grunge to media file to the timeline. Now add logo matte composition to the timeline. Now add fastbox blur to logo matte composition, set blur radius to 0.3. Now add simple choker. Set choke matte to 2. For grunge, change track matte to alpha matte logo matte. Now again create a new composition, name it as rust logo reveal. Now add logo blur, logo outline and rust composition to the timeline. Hide them. Now let's add the reflection media file to the timeline. You can see the preview. Now add the logo matte composition to the timeline. For reflection, change track matte to alpha matte logo matte. Now for reflection, add the CC glass effect. For glass, in surface, set bump map to logo blur. Now set softness to 3. Set height to -75. Now in light, set light type to point light. Now position the light as shown. Set light intensity to 125. Now add CC blobbilize to reflection. For blobbilize, in blobiness, set blob layer to logo blur. Set softness to 1, set cutaway to 10. In light, set light type to point light. Set light position as shown. Now again add CC glass effect. For glass, in surface, change bump map to logo outline. Change property to alpha. Now set softness to 8. Height to -10. Set displacement to 300. In light, set intensity to 125. Set light type to point light. Adjust light position. Now again add CC glass effect. For glass, in surface, change bump map to rust. Now set softness to 1. Height to 4. Set displacement to 250. In light, set light type to point light. Adjust light position. Perfect. Now add logo composition to the timeline. Change mode to color. Press T to bring up opacity. Now at 1 second. Create keyframe for opacity, set it to 50%. Now at start, set it to 0%. Now at 6 second. Create keyframe for opacity, Now at end, set opacity to 0. Now let's add the rust composition to the timeline. For logo composition, change track matte to alpha inverted matte rust. Perfect. Now let's add logo noise composition to the timeline. Change mode to multiply. Now add brightness and contrast to noise composition. Set brightness to 25. Set contrast to 100. Now add sharpen. Set sharpen amount to 50. For noise, press T to bring up opacity. At 1 second, create keyframe for opacity. Now at start. Set it to 0. Now at 6 seconds. Create keyframe for opacity. Now at end, set opacity to 0. Perfect. Now let's add the rust composition to the timeline. Now add curves to the rust composition. Now here you need to adjust the curves as shown. Now add brightness and contrast. Set brightness to -120. For rust, change mode to overlay. For rust, set opacity to 70%. For logo noise, change track matte to alpha inverted matte rust. Now add logo matte composition to the timeline. For rust, change track matte to alpha matte logo matte. Perfect. Now change all layers to 3D. Now create a new camera. Now create null object. Change null to 3D. Parent camera to null object. For null, press P to bring up position. Now at start, create keyframe for position. Set position to -200. Now at end, set position to 200. You can see the preview. Perfect. Select all layers. Pre-compose them. Name it as logo reveal. Perfect. Now let's add the floor media file to the timeline. Scale it to 50%. Now add motion tile to floor media. For tile, select mirror edge. Set width to 400. Set height to 600. Now change floor to 3D. Set orientation to 270 degrees. Now position it as shown. Perfect. Now let's create a new solid. I will name it as white. Set color to white. Now select rectangle tool. Create mask as shown. For mask, now adjust mask feather value as shown. Slightly adjust mask expansion value. Perfect. Now select floor and solid layer. Pre-compose it. Name it as floor. Place it below. Let's hide it. For logo reveal, add the mirror effect. For mirror, Set reflection angle to 90. Now adjust reflection center. Perfect. Now let's create a new adjustment layer. For this adjustment layer, add the compound blur effect. For compound blur, set blur layer to floor. Select invert blur. Set maximum blur value. Here you can set it according to your choice. Now add the background smoke media file to the timeline. Change mode to screen. Now add the particles media file to the timeline. Here we will trim it to 20 frames. Now add the tint effect to particles. Set color according to your logo. Now press T to bring up opacity, at second and 15 frames. Create keyframe for opacity, at start of the layer, set it to 0. Now at 5 second and 15 frames, create keyframe. Now at end set it to 0. Now change mode to screen. Now let's create a new adjustment layer. Now add the curves to this adjustment layer. Now adjust the curves as shown. Now add brightness and contrast. Set brightness and contrast according to your choice. Perfect. Now let's create a new solid. Name it as frame. Set color to black. Now double-click on this rectangle tool to create mask. For mask, set unit to % of source. Set top to 10%. Set bottom to 90%. Select inverted. Now let's see the complete preview. Perfect, here our Rust logo reveal is created. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial.